Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Moment Makers podcast. Today, it's just me. Just me, that's right. We're going to see how this goes. I got some interesting things in store that I don't even know about. We're going to try and see where it goes, see what happens, some interesting things that go on. Might have a few guests that are also me. But right now, let's check in on how I'm doing. Ben, how are you doing today? Well, honestly, not too bad. I worked and, that was, made money, so that's good. It was a great time. Not really. Hated it. Just as every other person who works a job. Not really. I hope you like your job. If you like your job, you don't work a day in your life. That's what they say. At least that's what I hear. Not entirely sure. But overall, not bad. I wanted to see, basically, just where we could go with this and the general insanity that is my brain, and perhaps see if something good would come of it. So either we're going to totally get rid of this and not do anything with it, or you're hearing it right now and we decided to put it out there. I don't know. But overall, there's a few certain topics that we could talk about. But first off, I would like to talk about our word of the day. Our word of today is blueberries. That's it. Alrighty, now moving onward. The next part, I would like to introduce a man that has no name as of right now, but perhaps he will eventually get a name. Here he is.
Dr. Susan Matthews is the name here. I came down from George Clinton's backwards housing development. We were talking about a lot of P-Funk, some Parliament, and Funkadelic songs back in the day. I was just listening to, I think it was, what's the name of that song? It's escaping me. It's one of their biggest songs, Funkadelics. One of Funkadelic's biggest songs. Not entirely sure. One Nation Under a Groove, that's what it is. Yeah, there's just this really funny part in that song at the beginning, around the 20-second mark, I want to say, where I'm pretty sure it's Bill Clinton. Or, not Bill Clinton. Not Bill Clinton at all. George Clinton, who was the starter of that band. But he just goes, "This is a chance! This is a chance!" Just at the start of the song, and it's just one of the most hilarious things you'll ever hear. I think so. It's just out of the blue, nowhere. Out of the blue, nowhere. I mean, out of the boo, coming nowhere. This is just a fustercluck. I stumble over my words every once in a while. Dr. Susan Matthews is the name. I'm a doctor now. Anyway, what were we talking about? I was just asking. Actually, I didn't even have a question really. Well, what kind? Where did you get your degree at? Is what I'm concerned about, because I didn't realize you were a doctor. In fact, none of the paperwork that you sent over indicated that you had any sort of PhD, and it really concerns me if you are actually working on patients or people who need medical attention in any way, shape, or form, because honestly, I'm pretty sure you're not at all qualified. Well, honestly, I take quite offense to that. Quite offense to that. And, I don't know where this is going at all. This has been entertaining, though, so far. Fun to do. The mic keeps hanging down, and then I can't, then I start hunching over as it goes. But we could, I hear the stimulus passed in the House, I think it was. So we might actually be getting $2,000. So that's kind of nice. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's for the other podcast. I shouldn't talk about that. Excuse me. I probably shouldn't have done that in the microphone. But overall, I think a general good consensus for what this is supposed to be is nonsensical fun. Something for the ears, something, to pass by the time, something to bring you a little bit joy in a little bit of a trying time, just to hold you over just a little bit longer until that next thing comes along. That next, I don't know what I would call it, fix. The next fix comes along, It's just it's supposed to just hold you over real nice and quiet. Like, let's get up to the mic like this, real close, and just, hey, bud, how are you doing? How are you doing? Are you okay? Are you doing good? I really hope so. And if you're not, maybe you will be tomorrow. Maybe you'll be doing good tomorrow. Because today is tomorrow's yesterday. And that's something to look forward to. And you're doing a good job. You're trying your best. You're doing your best. And that's what counts. I believe you. The whole Moment Makers community believes in you. Anyway, back to our program that I have yet to come up with a name for. Maybe it can be, should I have been in the name? Maybe have been in the name? I don't know. Ben's Communication Bureau. The BCB. I think that's a terrible name. Probably won't be that. I don't even know what we would call this. I was really hoping by now I'd be a little bit more caffeined up to have something more interesting to say, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the entire thing is just going to be bullshit. I think it's all going to be nonsense, and there's going to be no interesting things that happen. Let me pull back for a second and give a thought. Feels like I've been going for an eternity. I've been stuck in my head for hours, it feels like. But it's actually been 7 minutes and 59 seconds. Not actually. I'm down here in the basement by myself, no one else around. It's just me, alone with my thoughts, and you, the microphone, staring into my soul, staring into my very spirit, my essence that keeps me alive. You're just trying to pull something out. You're just trying to pull something just so insane out. But it's not coming out. But something is. Something is. We can talk about synchronized modal interchange. I'm just joking. We're not going to go into that. That sounds like something that's way over my head, and also I wouldn't know how to explain, and probably something you wouldn't find interesting if you're listening to this. If you would, let us know in the comments. If there are comments on something, leave us a review too. That'd be great. I don't know. Helps the algorithm. The algorithm is everything. Can we talk about that and just the algorithm? I was never good at math, so I don't really understand what that word even really means. I just assume it has something to do with algebra, but I really don't know. It just, like, the word looks very similar to algebra, algorithm, algebra, algebra as opposed to algebro. God, it hurts being me sometimes. I'm not really entirely sure what you expected if you listened to the beginning of this, and now we're here. But we're here. So, tell me, real quickly, what's the latest innovation in cubicle formations in the office? I'm sure they've been working on a lot of different things now with everybody being home, everybody, having some time out of the office. You would think that they'd be doing some renovations. They would come up with a different shape besides a cube for an office, those office cubicles. Honestly, I feel like an oval or even just a circle would be pretty fucking attractive. I feel like it'd have this more breatheness to it, like an openness to the office space that would end up having people be more productive, as opposed to a square. Because you know what a square is? A square is literally textbook boring. When someone's boring, you call them a square. You don't call them a circle. You don't call them an oval. You certainly don't call them a triangle. But triangles are a little bit flungenbottomous, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different subject. Anyway, why are offices and office cubicles cubes, or squares in general? Is it to... I almost it's a form of communism, is what it is. Not really. I don't think it is. If it is, then I'm onto something powerful. But really, I want to start a movement. I want to start a little petition, or I don't know, something people sign that gets noticed by someone that just says, "Hey, we're tired of cubes. We're tired of squares, or even rectangles, man. Like, that's not even much better. You're just slightly wider. Like, what? Who cares? What's a different shape? I mean, even a hexagon. Even a hexagon would be interesting. Basically, just why is it a square? I just don't want a square. Of course, I don't even work in an office. Why does it matter to me? It shouldn't matter to me. I'm almost certain it doesn't matter to anyone, so I don't even know why I'm talking about it right now. But you know what? Someone should care, because no one cares. And when no one cares, that's going to be our downfall, When none of us care about the small things, that's when we really, really lose sight of what's important, what's most important. Because, you know what it is? What's most important? All the Small Things by Blink-182. That's it. That's all that matters. That one, 1990s song, or was it 2000s? I want to say it's probably 2000s. I don't know. It came out. That was just a bad joke, honestly. Same with this entire segment here. But hopefully you'll be seeing some interesting new things coming from not just the podcast, but the Moment Makers community and Spero Cloth, and just everybody involved, myself included, Jesse, Brennan, Caleb, Coley, everybody who is sort of, and Daniel and Tristan, of course. They have we're all working on a lot of different things going into 2021, and it's very exciting to see all of these different sort of projects culminating and being meshed into one thing, but in a certain sense. Like, obviously it's not all one thing, but you can put it under the same umbrella so nothing gets rained on, if that makes sense. Which it doesn't, but it's just an analogy, and not all analogies need to make sense. But they probably should, but that's not my problem. Most said word on this one right now. You know what I gotta say? Recording by yourself is very interesting and fun, because you can stop it anywhere you like, and no one notices that you stopped, and then just keep going. But actually, I never stopped. There is no editing. There is no nothing. There really is no editing to anything. I do stop and go. I mean, what if I had to pee? But I don't think that's anyone's business, really. Let's get into a little bit about I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, part of me wants to talk about things, but the other part of me is like, you know what, don't. Because, it's that natural intuition that's just like, I don't want to do what I know I need to do. It's like the rebellious thing. It's like, when your parents tell you to do something, and you just naturally, instinctively want to be like, fuck you. No, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? No. No. It's just that natural rebellious attitude. That's what I'm having right now. I'm fighting against myself. This is an issue. This is a terrible issue. I'm fighting against myself. I'm fighting against you, the viewer. And honestly, I mean, for those at home that can't see, oh my God, such a hilarious joke. Haven't heard that one before. I mean, it's not even like I'm looking at a computer screen that's recording my sound waves right now, I'm also looking at a Shure mic, which is just, right in front of my face, kind of obstructing my view, which is kind of weird. I do really have to pee, but I don't think anyone needs to know that. But I did just say that. I'm not sure what I should do with myself at all. I don't know if this is good content, bad content, or just content. Is there such a thing as bad content? What even would you describe as bad content? Is this bad content? I am unsure. I don't know. Perhaps it is, but you know what? I'm enjoying this. Are you enjoying this? Right? Leave us a review telling us if you enjoyed this. Shamelessly plug and tell you to do things. But it's fun and it's good for us. Maybe it's good for you. It gives you a little sense of accomplishment at the end of the day. Yeah, I did that. I did a little something. But, you got to drag yourself to it. You got to drag yourself to the podcast page, to wherever it is, and then go to where you review. And then you're like, oh, I can leave like a star review. But then you're like, do I comment something? And if I comment something, what do I comment? What do I even say? That's another thing. Like, that's a whole other subject almost about like replying to people's messages, text messages or voicemails or whatever, whatever we do nowadays, emails. It's like, what do you say? Like your friend says, hey, what's up? And you're like, I don't know. I'm just here. Why do you want to know? Why do you care? Is there some ulterior motive you're going for here? That's just mean of me to assume that there is some sort of ulterior motive, which I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But I should at least give a benefit of the doubt. A benefit. But, I don't know. Being social is a struggle sometimes. Because, I don't know, you can put on a face in person, and by a face, I mean just like a social face of, like, yeah, I can communicate, I can act like a normal human being. But then, if you're by yourself and you're just texting or anything like that, there's even this whole other realm to it that's like, it's almost you don't know how to actually portray some sort of genuineness towards the situation because you are unable to see any type of genuineness from the person because they aren't in front of you. They aren't there to give you facial or physical cues to let you know how, like, their actual intentions are maybe. This is just one theory. I don't know. It's just a little something off the top of my head that I think actually kind of fits into that box. I am unsure as to whether that is actually what goes on in my brain, or anyone's brain for that matter, when a social situation like that, a social situation like that to arise. I don't know. But I think it's been enough jibberjaw. I don't know if this has been any good content or anything, but you know what? If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you didn't enjoy it, also let us know. We're gonna see about this. Maybe it'll be a reoccurring thing. Just a little side something. Just a little something to hold you over. A little something to get your fix. Anyway, it's been the Moment Makers Podcast, and this has been Ben. This has been Ben. This has been just that. This has been to pass.